Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Like I said, go to hometownstation.com for all the latest and greatest Santa Clarita has to offer. And if you are speaking of the greatest Santa Clarita has to offer, we have a very special guest in studio. If you're driving down Soledad, you're going to the movies, you go on Luther Drive, and you know that Santa Clarita Christian is actually at the end of that cul-de-sac. Actually, you may not know that, but hopefully we can inform you about that. Right now we have Mark Wilson. He is the principal of Santa Clarita Christian School, talking about his school. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Kyle.
Thank you for being here. And we were talking before we got on here. You've been the principal for 4 years now.
3 years. I'm going into my fourth right
now.
now.
So this is your fourth year. So you're a senior now.
So technically, I'm no longer new. I'm a senior.
Okay.
But I'm not graduating.
You're not
stay around.
That's the goal, anyway. I need to mention this. You can go to SCCS.cc for more information on the school. But I want to talk about you a little bit, Mark, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I know you probably want to just talk about your students and how awesome they are.
They're much funner to talk about, but I'll field your questions.
But
you
where are you from, and what brought you here to the Santa Clarita Valley?
Sure. Well, I'm originally from Washington State. So I guess it was in 2003, my wife and I decided to uproot and move down here to attend the Master's College and then the Master's Seminary. And we found out that Santa Clarita was actually a really wonderful place. A lot of nice people, a lot of like-minded families, many great churches, just a lot going on here for a growing family. And so we stayed here till about 2009, decided to try Washington one more time, stayed there for about 18 months and said, SCV is pretty nice. We're going to see what happens. So we came on back. And, the Lord led. It's been really good. We've been here, like I said, just over 3 years now, and we're going to stay.
And what did you study in school? You went to Master's College for college,
I did. I went to Master's College for Christian Ministries. They have the evening program for those who are a little older, and they're trying to finish the degree. Finished that, went down to the Master's Seminary so I could keep working and finish that. And I thought about heading into the pastorate because we just wanted to get the gospel out, and we wanted to partner with families and help the church. But then the Lord opened the door to Christian schooling. I was working at the Master's College, and when I went up to Washington, I had this crazy superintendent that said, hey, what I would really like to do is have somebody who's familiar with education, but an evangelist for souls. And I said, wow, I'm totally in. And so, they've been gracious along the way. People have been really kind. But Christian education is a great family. And I found that family at SCCS to be very like-minded and very similar in their mission. It's been a blessing. And
so when you left, you came back and you found Santa Clarita Christian, or how did that work? Were you working at Santa? How did that work?
Yeah, well, it's kind of crazy. Okay, so I moved back. I went to the Master's College one more time, stayed there for a couple of months. And a friend of mine, Pastor Scott Basolo, was pastoring the church at the time. He's now admissions counselor at the Master's Seminary. And he said, hey, we're looking for a principal. Would you be interested? And I had just stepped out of a principalship, and I really missed the kids. You leave that, and you don't have the daily interaction, the ups and the downs, the woes, all the excitement of what a K-12 education and campus brings. And I said, what? I would love to get back into it. And so we talked a little bit and said, hey, I think our goals are similar. Let's give this a shot. And believe it or not, it worked. Both myself and my boss, Mr. Kirk Huckabone, we were both hired at the same time. And we're both going into our 4 years, fourth year, and God's been good every step of the way.
Awesome stuff. And so, and you're at Santa Clarita Christian School now. You're the principal. Again, go to sccs.cc. We're talking with the principal, Mark Wilson from Santa Clarita Christian School. It's right over there on Luther Drive. You can get yourself some, like maybe McFlurry or something, and then just keep going back and get yourself an education. It's a smaller school. How many students do you have over there?
We got about 440 students.
Okay. How do you like that?
I love it. Makes for a good community. Every year the students graduate and they give us feedback. It just feels like a family. And that's the best and the worst part of a small school, right? The best part is, wow, we're like a family. Everybody knows each other. And then the worst part is, well, it's so small. Everybody knows everything about each other. But they find that once they leave, they really miss that community, that like-mindedness. And it's been real nice to have a small community, small classroom, small campus, where we get a lot done and we get to know each other really well.
And okay, so that's cool. And it's kindergarten through 12th grade.
It's kindergarten through 12th grade. It has been from the beginning, 34 years ago. And we graduated our largest senior class last year, 53 students.
Wow.
Yeah, which is really large for us, our largest ever. We actually had to have the ceremony over at the Master's College. They were kind enough to host us. This year we're going to graduate, Lord willing, about 35 or so.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And you guys also have sports programs.
We have a ton of sports
Yeah,
programs.
you guys, you're crazy about your sports.
You know-
What did I see? The volleyball team just won the CIF championship?
Volleyball took CIF last
Yeah.
year, which was phenomenal. Our boys' baseball team went to the CIF final game, lost that game, but just had an amazing season, a great group of guys, and an amazing coach. Garrick Moss has been doing that for years and done a phenomenal job. Darcy Brown's been with the volleyball girls. So just great stuff. And I should mention as well, we started swimming a couple years ago, and we have a young lady who's now won 3 CIF titles
Wow.
in swimming in the last 2 years, and I suspect she'll win a couple more this year.
Good heavens. Three CIF titles in 2 years.
Yeah, a small school, but good things are happening there.
Good grief, yeah. So, I mean, if you're not looking for, the big experience, but you still want the same thing in terms of extracurricular, Santa Clarita Christian seems like a good choice.
Full range of options. Actually, my daughter's in 3rd grade. I've got a son that's going to go into kindergarten next year. And even in kindergarten, you can start with soccer, basketball, or the flag football, which is
Awesome.
fun.
Yeah.
I mean, they just have a great time. The parents have a great time. Those are the funnest ones to watch, I got to say.
And school starts soon, but you guys are still enrolling.
We're still enrolling now. Some of the classes are full, but check with us. Our kindergarten is, of course, bursting at the seams, but we've got room for a couple more. We would love to see more people. High school is always bursting at the seams, but certainly still enrolling. We got about 2 weeks before school starts, so it's
Couple
coming
weeks
fast.
left. So go to sccs.cc and learn more. And Mark, thanks for coming by. Anything else? I feel like we ran the gamut here. I don't know what else. Is there anything else we need to? We learned a lot about you, a lot about the school.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. Let me just say that Santa Clarita Christian School, we're distinctively known as a discipleship school. We're here to teach minds and train hearts for God, and that's really what we're all about. And we want to partner with Christian parents in that mission to accomplish just that end. So that's what you need to know about us.
Excellent. Thank you, Mark, for coming by. I do appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Kyle. Nice
All right.
being here.